I know I'm gonna catch heat for this one. I know I'm gonna catch heat for this one. Man, what's going on, everybody? To the 5 wonderful people watching right now, thank you so much for coming through. This is a live stream, y'all. Live stream. What's going on? Live with the Sunflower Lady. Thumbs up. Yes, please smash that like button upon entry to this live stream. I greatly appreciate it. YouTube tends to like that kind of stuff. Allows it to get into the algorithm and all that good stuff. So please hit the like button. We're going to talk about this today. All right. But it may not be what you think. It may not be what you think. So if you've come into this live stream thinking or having any preconceived notions of how this live stream is going to go, you're probably going to be incorrect. All right. So first off, yeah, your boy needs a haircut. All right. It's kind of messed up that I'm going to be talking about Mr. Samuels today. And, he's all about the grooming, right? Grooming. Your boy don't look too groomed, but, it is what it is, right? We're still somewhat in the pandemic, and so I only go to one barber. I only allow one person to touch my hair. So that's why my hair looks like this. So please bear with me. Bear with me, because I promise you it won't look like this forever. All right. So let's talk about this, man. And I'll try not to be too long. All right. I'll try not to be too long. Hopefully. Oh, whoa. Looks like I'm having some issues with the internet. Let me know. Do me a favor in the chat. Let me know if I'm freezing. Okay. If I'm freezing, please let me know. Now, here's the thing. People tend to think that I have an issue with Mr. Samuels or Kevin Samuels. I really don't. I still, till this day, get comments from a video I posted, a short video I posted a couple of months ago, saying that Kevin Samuels doesn't speak for all men and he doesn't speak for me. And I caught heat. I had the Manosphere and the Kevin Samuels followers all up in the chats and the comments, insulting your boy. Like it matters, coming at me, and I don't care. Everybody got their opinion. They got emotional, and it was like, oh man, he's coming for my godfather. So let me say something about him. But listen, I have nothing against the man itself. I just don't agree with some of the things that, not everything. Like I don't agree with everything that he says, and that's okay. And I think that a lot of men have deified this man and put him on a pedestal. Which actually is a definition of a simp. When you put anything or anybody on a pedestal, you become a simp. So I don't put anybody on a pedestal except for God. The only person that's on a pedestal that belongs there, who earned that spot, is God. But I think that people get the wrong idea. Like I was able to speak about what things I disagree with, some of the things he said. I don't have anything against the man himself. In fact, I have a lot of respect for him because he was able to build a very influential platform. In a sense, I think a lot of us on YouTube trying to do that as well. And yes, there's some people out there that are clout chasing that would just create content solely on the man because they know it get views. I don't really care too much about that kind of thing. If he says anything that I agree with or disagree with, I'll talk about it when it's time. But I'm not going to create my content solely on what he does. But recently, this photo surfaced of Kevin Samuels in high school. Now, people were clowning him about this picture, right? And even there was a Christian YouTuber who called him out as being gay in this photo. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what this photo reveals. It's not what you guys think. It's not what you guys think. People look at this photo and they want to clown Kevin Samuels for what he looked like in high school. What I'm about to talk about today is going to be revealing, but not about the man Kevin Samuels. It's going to be revealing about everybody who has an issue with this photo. So now, before we go any further, I need you guys to hit thumbs up. Hit the like button, please. Hit that like button. YouTube likes it. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Join the Harrison Extended family. And hit the bell notification next to it so it'll let you know when I upload new videos or go live like I'm doing right now. All right, so let's talk about it. And what I'm going to do also is I want to engage in conversation for those who want to talk about this as well. So I'm going to leave the number there. You can call that number. And for those who want to be faceless, and we'll talk about it. All right. So yeah, let's talk about this. So Kevin Samuels in high school. I guess this looks like a photo in the yearbook, and it says Kevin Rashawn Samuels, Fred. I guess that's what they called him in high school. Is a Pisces who described himself as unique. We all know that he's definitely a unique individual. All right. So he enjoys dancing, clothes, and meeting people. He is a member of the band, student council, stage band, MHS dancers, pep club, and the Bronze Gents. Kevin plans to attend OU and major in biomed. Okay. They look at the picture and they look at the caption and they start saying things like, huh, Kevin Samuels. I don't know. This looks very suspect. I don't know. I don't know about Kevin Samuels. This is a very suspicious photo of him. And they start coming up with things about Mr. Samuels, right? I'm going to tell you what this reveals about people. This reveals that people could dislike an individual so much that they would seek to go into his past or her past to either discredit or hate on the man. There's one thing that we can't argue. His platform is one that many YouTubers would love to have. In fact, many covet. But one thing that this reveals about the man, Kevin Samuels, is that he has grown a lot since this photo. Okay. What I don't think happens, what I don't think it reveals is him being, his sexuality is being in question, because I'm going to be honest. I was pretty unique in high school too. I mean, I didn't dress like that. I'm not going to lie. But I was unique. I liked to dance. I was a part of the Council for Unity, now Student Council for Unity. All right. I was a part of many different multicultural clubs. I was a part of clubs that my people that looked like me that went to the school weren't doing. They were into sports and girls and all that stuff. And I was into girls too. I wasn't always a Christian, right? But I was into things that other young black boys was not into. Okay. Community driven type of stuff within the school. Right. If you look at this, right, he enjoys dancing, clothes, and meeting people. I enjoy dancing. I'm not really a clothing kind of guy, but I enjoy talking to people all the time. Does that make somebody like gay? Does that, and so what, right? Part of the student council, stage band, MHS dancers, pep club, and the Bronze Gents. Kevin plans to attend OU and major in biomed. And the only thing I see about this is that this man, I don't know if he continued his major in biomed. I don't know that. I really don't care to know that. But this does show growth, because how many of you guys have very embarrassing photos of you in high school? How many of you guys are doing exactly what you were doing in high school? If you had a caption over your high school picture in your yearbook, what would it read? And are you still doing those same things? People behave like people can't grow and evolve in themselves. So they want to hate. They want to hate. Now listen, I'm not like a Kevin Samuels fanboy. All right. I'm not. But what I am going to do is reveal how this photo uncovers and brings to light people's insecurities, right? And you can't acknowledge, like, one thing I have to acknowledge, we all have to acknowledge, that this man is not the same man he is there in this photo, right? Very different. Today's very polished, very distinguished, some may say. But people grow. And for us to spend so much energy, right, trying to dig up old photos and things like that to discredit somebody reveals a lot about us, not about the person that we're trying to uncover. It reveals a lot about us, that we are willing to exert so much energy to discredit somebody that we disagree with or that we don't like. That is the epitome of hate. To exert so much energy to sort of embarrass somebody, that's hate. That's hate. All right. And then some of you guys are doing the very same thing that you claim he does to the women that he speaks to, by doing things like this, shaming him for this picture. This picture, come on, guys, come on. Really, guys? It shows growth. It shows growth. And I think every single one of us have grown. Every single one of us have been in a position where we may not have been where we wanted to be in life, right? And because of that, we put in the work and we grew. One thing about the man is he put in the work. He grew a very decent sized YouTube channel, and he's still growing. His influence is growing. His reach is growing. Again, I don't agree with everything that he says. Some of the things I rock with, some of the things I just don't. But that's just the nature of me as a person. Like, so I could listen to what somebody says and say, okay, that sounds solid. That's not too solid, right? But just because I disagree with some of the things he says doesn't mean I hate the man. Some of you guys disagree with what he says and you hate the man so much that you're looking to ridicule him for pictures and photos that he had in high school over 30 years ago, 40 years, maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago. Wow, we exert so much time and hate. That reveals a lot about us, more than it does about Kevin Samuels back in high school. Like, so we're going to look at this photo and shame him for this photo. All right. And I got to be honest, he was doing this thing in high school. Like, he's doing his thing. Like, it was going on the right way. He was doing this thing in high school. He was very active. This man was probably looking to get a scholarship, right? Get a scholarship. He was forward thinking. But we shame people like that. And here's the thing. Back when I was in high school, young black boys who were into things like this were shamed, right? By the girls who were looking for the thugs and wound up getting pregnant while they were in high school. So they look at men like this and say, oh, he was a cornball, right? He was a cornball. But then end up pregnant. Vaughn Sanders Ministries, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. So this reveals more about us if we have an issue with it and looking to shame him for this photo than it does about Kevin Samuels. It definitely does. Because each and every one of us have issues and not just issues, had issues and have embarrassing photos that we don't want to get uncovered, right? It's like you're at a wedding and you're at your wedding and your mom and your father found photos of you that you didn't want to be put in the montage, and they put it in the montage and you're like this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. Oh. Right? Like, it's not a reflection of who you are today. It was who you were back then, but you were still in the growing stages. You were in the developmental stages, right? So should you be shamed for your developmental stages, no matter what you look like or the things that you were that you were involved in at the time? You should be shamed for that? Because if that's the case, then each and every one of us have reason to be shamed. I got my eighth grade photo, graduation photo. It's probably the most embarrassing photo I have. And I promise you, if that was uncovered, man, I don't care. I'll uncover it myself. I could care less. But like, people would shame me for that. Like, and I guarantee you, every single one of the Kevin Samuels supporters that came at me for the video I did about not agreeing with him a couple of months ago would take that photo and put it up there and try to blast me, right? It is what it is. They spend so much time trying to hate. They could do that, right? But it reveals something about them more than it does about me. We got to be careful when it comes to things like that. Here's the photo. See, the thing is, I don't have a problem with the photo. I don't. I think that some people have an issue with it. And there was a Christian YouTuber who came out and said that he was this photo is like maybe evidence of him being in a alternative lifestyle in high school. I just see a unique individual who was different than the rest of the mold. And I think that people want to shame him because they just want to hate. Some people just want to hate. There's nothing wrong with the photo. He was in high school 30 years ago. How do you think they dressed 30 years ago? And he looked like a dancer. Like, he danced, right? So I just think that people, hate to say it, but people appreciate toxicity. They appreciate bullying. Like, we live in a very heavily bullying society where we just want to bully people. And some of you guys may think that Kevin Samuels is a bully too. And I'm gonna be honest with you. In some cases, I agree, right? Sometimes he can be a little bully when it comes to talking to some of the women he talks to, even some of the men that he used to talk to, they don't talk to anymore. But you guys who don't like the way he talked to women are the ones that are probably shaming him for this, doing the very same tactic. You're not any better. You're not any better than him if you feel he's doing that. All right. Keep people away from my. Listen, I was saying the same thing. Like keep away from our high school photos, because there are going to be some things that people will try to expose you on and be like questioning, right? Like my high school yearbook picture, I have hazel eyes. I had hazel contacts, right? People will probably say, "Wow, I think Dre was in an alternative lifestyle too," and I wasn't. See, but people would look to find reasons to shame anybody if they just simply disagree or they just want to hate. And I think that that's what's revealing about this photo. It has very little to do with who Kevin Samuel was 30 years ago. It has a lot to do with who people who want to shame him today, who they are today. And we got to be careful of things like that. We got to be careful of things like that. When we get to that place where we're looking for things to shame people on, you have a toxic spirit and probably seriously need deliverance from it. Seriously. If you have hate in your heart for anybody, so much so that you want to kill their countenance and their character, you got a problem and you need deliverance. I'm saying it. You may not agree. You may not agree, but you need deliverance. So again, I'm not like a Kevin Samuels fanboy. I speak against what he says that I don't agree with, and in groups of people, I'll speak in favor of some of the things that I agree with. I don't align with anybody 100%. However, this photo doesn't reveal anything negative about Kevin Samuels, and I think people got to get out of their minds that uncovering photos like this about anybody, Kevin Samuels or whoever it is that you don't like, has more to do with who you are as a person and your toxic mentality than it does the person that you're trying to shame. He does that daily. Kevin Samuels, that is, he does that daily. Kevin Samuels, that is, which is very toxic. Now, people can agree. Like I again, like I said before, I'm not here trying to promote Kevin Samuels and say, hey, I'm a Kevin Samuels fanboy, leave him alone. I'm not. I'm saying that this photo doesn't prove anything, and to use this photo as a means to shame him, right, is wrong, because we all have things in our past, or have photos in our past that we just don't want people to see. We take photos today that we don't want people to see, right? So digging up his high school yearbook photo and a caption doesn't shame him. It doesn't reveal anything about him today. This may be who he was 30 years ago, but this isn't who he is today. But what it does reveal is who a person wants to shame him for who he was 30 years ago. It's revealing of who they are today. We got to be careful of that. We got to be careful of that, right? We got to get to the place where we have elevated our mentality to a place that we don't wish harm on anybody, no matter what we feel they did. And the thing is, some people don't even hate him because of what they did to them individually, personally. They just don't like him because of what he's saying to people who they may relate to. Either or. Like, again, I don't like the way he speaks to women. I don't speak to women that way. I can tell a female the truth without having to, make them, look ridiculous on his show, on my show. I can do that. But people still watch him. He has grown his platform to a place where people are still watching him despite his insults. And some of the things he says is true. And I think that he's in a space that's probably needed today. We have young men trying to identify who they are, and they've sort of adopted him as their surrogate father. I disagree with that because, again, like for anybody to be a surrogate of anything, or if you adopt them or see them in that light, they got to prove themselves. And I think YouTube channel is not enough to prove anybody as an expert in anything. But what it does show is that men are in a place where they need some sort of guidance and mentoring, and they look at Kevin Samuels and they say, listen, like he pretty much embodies who I want to be as a man. So I'm going to follow everything that he says and does and behave the way he does. Yeah. So there's definitely a space for that. And also a space where some women can believe that they are a certain way, that they deserve certain things. And he's definitely popping that bubble, and I think some women benefit from the bubble being popped, just not necessarily the way he's doing it. So insulting anybody is, I think, a very toxic way of helping. It doesn't help. But that's just me. It's not speaking against who he is as a person or his character. I just don't like the way some of the things he does. But at the same time, oh, my phone's going up. At the same time, this photo doesn't reveal anything negative about Kevin Samuels, and I think we have to grow up and not use this photo of him 30 years ago as a means to shame the man, because it really doesn't prove anything negative about who he was or who he is today. All right. So listen, I'm not going to be on long. I gotta go to Target, get me a bright shirt, because it's a bright shirt day at our school tomorrow. So I gotta find a bright shirt. And listen, you know what's going to be funny? It could be funny. What if a picture of me in a bright yellow shirt surfaces, right? From tomorrow, people are going to start questioning me and making fun of me. It is what it is. If you want to make fun of me because I'm wearing a bright yellow shirt, that has more to do with who you are than it does me. So I can care less. All right. It don't matter. All right, guys. So listen, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Listen, if you have not done so, hit this like button. And if you don't like the video, that's cool. You don't have to like the video. Hit that like button. I appreciate the engagement either way. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button right now. Stop. Do it right now. Right now. And then hit the bell notification so it'll let you know when I upload new videos. If you do that, you have joined the Harrison Extended family. You're part of the family. You're part of the Harrison Extended family. So welcome to the family. Also, if you have not done so, if you would like to support the channel, hit that join button. Hit that join button. And join the Harrison Extended family that way too. Thank you so much, brother. Peace and grace and peace to you, my brother, my friend. And if you have not subscribed to Vaughn Sanders Ministries, please do so right now. Search him up and subscribe today. And listen, man, I really appreciate you guys for being here. At the end of the day, let's stop trying to shame people by uncovering what we feel is shameful photos from people's past, because it doesn't reveal anything negative about who the person that you're trying to shame is today. It reveals the toxicity that's in you today. So get over it and move on. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until the next live stream or upload, I am out. Peace.